Hello, we're Jac and Mel, and we've escaped the rain of March to go to Palma in Majorca.
We did. We needed some sunshine desperately.
It just rained and rained and rained.
It did, it was terrible weather.
So what's the hotel like?
Gorgeous hotel, right in the middle of the centre. Pretty stylish, old-fashioned Spanish rooms.
One little narrow alleyways. And we thought we'd go and explore.
Always exploring on the first night.
First day there. Always stumble across the cathedral on the first night.
Yeah. We knew it was there. We had to have a little selfie. Also, it's good on the first night.
It's all glowing in the evening sun. Ice cream.
Always have to find an ice cream.
Definitely. And it was a fantastic ice cream, wasn't just any ice cream.
It really was.
Followed by wine, followed by beer,
we had so much wine in the pub with a chap from Halifax.
This is the next day. The next day, going off on a cycle tour. So we like cycle tours.
It's a really good way to see a city for the first time, actually.
About 3
Just get
hours.
an idea of the scope of it and how big everything is.
Where all the main attractions are and what have you. You can see our group here. And it's a funny little promenade we were on.
Well, they've reclaimed, the cathedral used to be on the sea. They've reclaimed land and have a road going all the way around the outside.
This is an old convent.
Yeah, and the nuns are not allowed to speak to you, but you can see them. You can order
Buy
little
biscuits.
cakes by pressing the button and leaving some money for them.
And there were lots of churches, and they were all a bit the same. There's some fairly dodgy statues, but they all had these rose windows.
Yeah, each section of the city basically had its own church. There were lots and lots of churches to look at. Lots of little squares where people were gathering in the sunshine. It was really spring-like.
I think this is the town hall here, but you can see it was a really chilled out vibe there, so that was all pleasant.
These reminded me of Jeux Sans Frontières.
I mean, we saw things like the central market, which was all
full of jamon.
Very good. And this is the oldest tree in Palma. By now, we're starting to have slightly sore bottoms because it's 3 hours on that.
We also had our eye on the next attraction.
Yes.
We wanted to go up and see the castle on the hill that we'd spotted, and we thought there was a cafe up there, but there wasn't. But it was the most stunning place. I mean, architecturally, it was just
13th century Gothic architecture. Wowza.
Hardly anybody there.
Yes.
Just peaceful, and the weather was beautiful. Fantastic view of the bay. But we were getting pretty hungry.
Very hungry, about 3 o'clock. So we went off in search of a restaurant.
We just trundled quickly down these steps and went to find. We couldn't find a restaurant that was open, so we bought ham and bread and went to find ourselves a little spot by the boats to eat it.
So that was fantastic. A little afternoon kip, and then recovered in the evening and went out again.
We just went out wandering and asked people for recommendations. Went for a local beer, and then this restaurant someone had recommended.
So next day we were going to go on a train. We didn't realise you could book it in advance.
So another recommendation from your mate Gary.
St Gary. Straight through over the top of the island.
To this little place called Soller, and we sat in the square again, had a coffee.
And went off
Another
to the
beautiful
church.
Went to buy you some Nurofen for your dodgy back.
Yes.
And just killed a bit of time.
But wondering where to go for a nice coffee, and we'd actually spotted the perfect place. It wasn't in town. Where was it, Mel?
Back at the station.
Yes, we went back.
We ended up there with nice fresh orange juice and a little cake to share.
Because the next highlight was zooming up on us. Yes.
Waiting for the tram.
Waiting for the tram. So it was train and then tram, and the tram was just as good. Look at that.
The tram was incredible because it went through the streets in between the shops and the houses in places.
And got us down to this beautiful and rather lovely bay. Couldn't believe it. And it's a sort of bay that we thought we'd both go to in kind of...
we'd definitely go back. It was full of people cycling, walking.
Yes.
Or like us, just eating paella in the sunshine.
It's very important. There's nice fish restaurants. So.
It was really, really relaxing.
Yes, so how's that for a picture? Pretty stunning.
Yeah, pretty as a picture.
We didn't have long, had a kind of 4 or 5 hours. Here's the old boy. Looking cool. More churches and more statues. We'd be a bit churched out by this stage, but we were thinking about where could we possibly go for a drink?
We went and ate somewhere where we'd taken a photograph on the cycle tour.
Yes.
Of little... Oh no, before that, sorry.
This is the Guinness stall.
We went to the Guinness bar first.
Yeah. Pretty cool, eh? Beautiful. Cathedral and Arab Baths, both built on kind of Moorish
bathed in
foundation.
Evening sunshine.
Just made, and
this is the place that we went to for the evening meal.
Best meal we had.
Yes, but people were queuing actually by the time we were sitting with some food.
We had the best seats in the whole place.
Up on the mezzanine, it was lovely.
Last day, this is Mel outside the hotel. and we booked to go to the kind of cathedral. Thought we've got to check out the cathedral. Would that be the highlight of there? What do you think of the cathedral?
The cathedral was actually stunning, but it was full of quite a lot of surprises for me because there were a lot of stained glass windows that were quite modern.
Yeah.
Again, it had this rose window that let the light through in the most amazing way.
5,000 pipes on the organ.
Yeah,
which,
which they're trying to renovate because
Right,
it's
I see about 20.
giving up on it. But this, to me, was one of the stunning things. I've never seen this before in a church. It was almost like a mobile construct hanging from the ceiling, like a canopy, actually.
So and it had all sorts of things and the chapels and what have you. So it was good, but there's actually an even better thing coming up because
more our style, really, the sort of thing that we were
Yes,
after.
'cause we went wandering the streets again, Jac Mel.
But it was signposted. We followed little signs all the way
to the
around.
Moorish quarters.
Yes, to the Arab Baths. It's a beautiful, peaceful garden, very peaceful, 10th century.
Yeah, quite something. So just a tiny bit of the Moorish style is still standing, really. Very beautiful, very peaceful. And then when you go through here, what an astonishing sight. Here we are. I think the 10th century. How stunning is that?
Just imagine you slopping on the oils and the water jet.
They're 1,000 years old. It takes.
Then we just wanted the streets before we had to go to the airport. It's lovely to see all the shop windows were full of all the Easter eggs, and they do very well in Spain. They love Easter.
And these are our final shots. You can see the cathedral. Town hall.
Soaking up as much blue sky as we
Good
possibly
holiday.
could. Fantastic
Fantastic.
Unfortunately, it was blowing a gale and grey by the time we got back to Bristol.
Still is.
But we absolutely loved it. What a nice little trip.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.